Today I'm going to be talking about how the world's largest industry is being transformed through 3D printing. So I'm one of the co-founders of COBOD, and we manufacture large-scale machines to transform the world's largest industry. If we look at the global, if we look at the world right now, there is a major housing crisis. 300 million homes are estimated that need to be built by 2030. That's almost 100,000 per day. Prices of housing have increased drastically, in some areas by 40% in just a decade. People are getting priced out, and so forth. So there's a major housing crisis. And one of the reasons for that is because of how we build. Because no matter where you look in this world, construction has been done and is being done the exact same way we've been doing it for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's very manual, it's very time consuming, there's a lot of waste involved, and all of this is driving up the cost. It's delaying projects, it takes longer and longer, and it's not the most sustainable business there is. So our company has a vision to transform that and let the machines do the hard labor. So we use large-scale 3D printers like these in order to make construction cheaper and faster by utilizing a crew of just down to 3 people per construction site to make homes, data centers, and other application areas. So this is how they look. This is a middle-sized 3D printer. And now I'd like to show you just how that looks from first layer to last layer of a project. Here you can see the 3D printer being installed. And then the building is being extruded layer on top of layer to create a physical structure. You can see here how other workers, they come in and they work in unison with the equipment, in this case the electricians. This project here is 400 square meters, around 4,000 square feet. It's in 3 floors, and you have 5 families living in this building. Fully permitted. Germany, they have very strict building standards, but you have people living in it. So that's how it looks. And so why do you want to build with 3D printing? Well, I think there are 6 good reasons. Number 1 is cost savings. Because you have fewer people on site and you reduce the amount of materials being used. Some of our customers are now seeing cost savings of 10 to 20% per build. And this industry is only 5 or 6 years old. Number 2, printing faster. Some of our customers claim to be printing homes now 30 to 50% faster than with laying bricks or with doing wood-framed homes. Design freedom. You get full customization of design because the 3D printer can move unhindered in 3D space. Number 4, you reduce the amount of waste on site to effectively 0 because you only print what you need. It's very durable because you use real concrete. Also makes it easier to permit. And then lastly, it's highly scalable. There is a project in the Middle East that's going to start very shortly. That's over 40,000 square meters. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So this is where we sell our equipment. We're based in more than 35 different countries. We have a big presence in the Middle East as well. There's a lot of great projects that have been done in the kingdom. I want to show you a few examples of what's being done with this tech. We have hundreds of different application areas. For people, we're talking housing. That's both affordable and high-end. 3D printed schools. Starbucks have started 3D printing restaurants, offices. That's a mosque that was 3D printed here in the kingdom, and so on. To the more industrial commercial structures, like data centers, warehouses, wind turbine towers, water tanks, Bridges, the Department of Defense in the US, they also have one of our machines for printing barracks and other similar structures. So there is a wide range of different applications this is being used for. Let's just deep dive into a few of the important ones, starting with housing. Here you have 5 or 6 different types of houses from 6 different continents. And you can see this was all done with the same machine, but the output you get is very, very different. The one you have down there in the bottom left-hand corner was done an hour or 2 from here, a 3-story villa that was 3D printed fully by a machine. That was not done by human hands, the shell of it. Other application areas are data centers. You might have heard the word AI being tossed around here today a few times. That's driving up a huge need for data centers, and there is a specific need for more modular, local data centers that could be built faster. Here's just an example of that, a data center that was printed in Germany. It's a very small module, less than 1 megawatt, but it's in the city center, and that's why you can see that they wanted to optimize the design. So in the back, the building to the right is actually a kindergarten, and so there's no need for a data center to look like a boring big old rectangle. Why not create these beautiful curvatures at the same cost of doing it just in a straight line? But they print faster and cheaper than conventional data centers using this technology. Another example here are these water tanks that were printed in Kuwait. There is a huge need for water access across the globe, so this is one way to store it. The beautiful thing about 3D printing these water tanks is that in this way that it did it here, they reduced the amount of material used by 25%. And the way they did it was to make the walls thinner as you go up, because the water pressure is lower at the top. That's enabled by the 3D printer. If this had been done the conventional way, with you form a water tank in place, the wall would have the same thickness from top to bottom. But that's not needed because the water pressure is much, much bigger at the bottom. And so here they reduce the amount of material, the concrete, by 25%. The last project that I wanted to present is a very big one. This one is going to be printed in Qatar. So it's 2 schools for girls, around 40,000 square meters each, so that's more than 400,000 square feet. And you can see here how the design it's such a beautiful design. It mimics the ripples that the sand gets when wind passes above it. And that is fully enabled by the 3D printer. They're going to start that project in the coming months. But if you are to do a 40,000 square meter school project like that, you also need a very, very large 3D printer. So moving forward, the industry is going to scale with much, much larger equipment, such as the 3D printer you see here, that can print up to 15 meters in height. That's 5 stories, more than 30 meters in the width, and then 100 meters in the length. So imagine the scale benefits, imagine the cost and the speed benefits when you start applying robotics in the world's largest industry, which is also the least automated industry. So we think the future is very, very bright for construction when you start applying robotics, AI, and other futuristic technologies. Thank you for your time.